In this demonstration, you will learn how to create a control template for the checkbox. Let's switch to Visual Studio. Here I've started the customer's application. As you can see, the checkbox here looks not so good because the area where you check it should be a bit bigger. But you can't change that by setting properties on the checkbox. Instead, you need to edit the control template. So let's stop the application and let's do this. Let's go to the Solution Explorer. Here I expand the View folder that contains the Customer's View SAML file, and when you scroll down in this file, you can see here the checkbox. Now, instead of creating a brand new control template for the checkbox, you usually create a copy of the default template. To do this, you can select the checkbox and then you go to the designer, and in the designer, you right-click the checkbox and you can select from the context menu, Edit Template, Edit a Copy. Instead of using the designer, there is also another approach. When you are here in the SAML editor, you can go to the View menu and under Other Windows, you find here the Document Outline window. This window shows you the structure of your SAML document. Here you can also right-click on the checkbox, and this gives you the same context menu as in the designer. So now from here, let's choose here Edit Template, Edit a Copy. Now a dialog pops up that lets you create the control template as a resource. This dialog will create a style for the checkbox that sets the template property. You can choose here if you want to create an explicit style with a key, or if you want to create an implicit style that is applied automatically to all checkboxes. Let's create here an implicit style. Next, you can select where you want to create that style that sets the template property. You can create it in the application resources, you can create it in this SAML document, or you can select another resource dictionary. I want to select another resource dictionary, and I select here the styles SAML file of our project. Now let's click OK to create this. Now here in the Customer's View SAML file, nothing has changed because you have created an implicit checkbox style in the styles SAML file. Now let's go to the Solution Explorer and let's expand here the Resources folder and let's open the styles SAML file. Here in this file, you see now additional styles for focus visual, optional mark focus visual that are used by the checkbox style. Then you see also here several brush resources that are also used by the checkbox style. Then down here you see the implicit style for the checkbox. As you know already, using the X-type markup extension is not necessary. So if you want, you can also write here just checkbox. Then you see in this style several setters for properties like background and foreground, and here you see the setter for the template property. It defines a control template for the target type checkbox. Again here, X-type, if you want, you can also omit it. I remove it here so that you know that you can also write it this way, because some WPF developers always write it like this. Then you see in this control template the user interface for the checkbox. It is actually a grid with two column definitions. The first column definition contains this border element, which is the border that contains the check mark. Then there is a content presenter element, which is in grid column 1. The content presenter is always used in a control template of a content control. It is responsible to render the object that you assign to the content property of the content control. The content presenter is actually the element that enables WPF's flexible content model. Then, when you scroll down further, you can see that a control template can have like a style triggers. So here is, for example, a property trigger for the isMouseOver property. Interesting is here that on the setters, beside property and value, also a target name property is set. So this setter changes the background property of the target element checkbox border. When you scroll up, you can see that in the control template, this border element here has the name checkbox border. So this border element is changed by the setter in the isMouseOver trigger that gets active when the mouse is over the checkbox. Now we have actually the control template, and you can change it to adjust it to the look that you need. Let's do this in the next clip.